세러데이 쇼다운, DRX 대 농심 레드포스.
The engage options from D+ aren't that fantastic with that Braum support, so you can just kind of speed away from a lot of the threats.
And you have a lot of range anyway, because DK don't have any range themselves. Even the equalizer can work as like pseudo-engage or even poke for this particular team, just because otherwise it's Showmaker fishing for charms. You know, it's the culling from aiming, but outside of that, not really too much else. It is going to be the hot dog skin, so that's certainly a lot of fun, but I'm not sure whether this is necessarily a winning look for DK, as BNK FearX wanting to try and get back on the horse, move closer and closer to the western side of the standings. Let's get into it. Now, right now you can see Diablo and Kellen utilizing that range advantage that we knew they had pretty effectively.
Oh, Showmaker's just hit 6.
Yeah, and is actually going to land the charm there as well. So Vikla going to get electrocuted. I don't know whether the doggo going to quite get in here in time, down to 21 health, but of course, no one there to contest. As now Raptor does get daggered momentarily. There's the flash over from Beryl, doesn't quite find the Q flash though.
He's going to be really important here.
Yep, Clear has found Shiu as well. He's looking to try and push this Rumble away. Equalizer in range of anyone right now. So the Winter's Bite is going to connect. There is the culling onto Kellen. He's taking a fair bit of damage. The flash does come through as Clear finally throws down that Equalizer. Not exactly doing too much, splitting up the fight here, but DK just biding their time. Shape Splitter comes on through as now Showmaker looking for that engage angle. Finds the charm as there's the public execution. Shiu though, getting a bit of a shield back, but still in trouble. He's gonna have to flash away. And now it's Lucid that's gonna have to try and get out of here. He flashes, uses absolutely everything. And Beryl, I don't think he's gonna quite be able to hold the door enough, as there is First Blood going over to the Rumble. With that Spirit Rush at the ready, Beryl loping his way over. That is a charm going to miss, but still a lot of damage onto Raptor. Back towards the Dragon now as Lucid. Don't think he's getting in there, and he isn't going to be able to lock that one down. Hextech Soul this game is kind of nutty. It's a lot of extra power as now Diablo. Well, that's a cute little ward. Not sure why it's there, but he's going to put it down. Now going to have to dance out of these rocks. Kellen moving on in. There's a Pop Blossom, and Shiu just going to dash out of the way of it. That's kind of crazy. Trying to get in there and stop the rest of the team from backing up this Nefiri. Beryl shows them the door, gets the heal out, and True Shot Barrage going to finish him off. Really nice aim there from Diablo, as BNK realizing with the man advantage, they should be able to take this, and it's so sad here for Lucid. Still he's able to lock it down, but that eye is just going to look around for a while and disappear.
Maybe even threat if this is a hard dive to pull off. Yeah, the waves just got deleted. Oh, they're still going.
Yep, there's the Pop Blossom to come in, but it's going to hit absolutely no one. Kellen goes down first there as the second kill comes in for DK.
You're kind of looking, what can we get out of this? You know, right, Showmaker has no ult right now, no flash, and Dragon is coming up.
DK thinking that maybe Clear is going to be their option, as Flash does have to come out from the Rumble.
Good pick up there.
Yep. And Shiu towards that top side, if he's facing off against Vikla, is a pretty comfortable way of interrupting, as that is an ulti forward here from Showmaker, and Clear, remember, doesn't have the flash, and so he's going to be taken down. Lucid now able to flash away, but the flash to follow there from Kellen is so good. Still, it's not enough. Lucid just dashes away, and down goes the Wukong. Shield comes in from Lucid, and he's over the wall yet again. It's a decent seismic shove there, but Vikla is going to get stunned up by Beryl, and that's just a fake Nico, because Lucid just comes back in, gets back into it, and dies. It's not exactly great. Seismic Shove almost gets a double there.
You know, if you're the team who only has...
Oh dear. Kellen going to get stunned up. There is the ulti from Beryl just to make sure of it. Down he will go. Diablo going to get attacked here by Lucid once more. The ulti flies forward, but still not going to be able to find too much. It's okay. D+ still with 1,000 gold lead, but that might actually be changing here. As you can see, Lucid bounding around. Little does he know that this brush is occupied. Or at least it was. There it is. Raptor comes on over. Untargetability is pretty powerful here for Lucid, as he does blast cone Raptor away and keeps himself alive. And now Shiu is the one that's in the furnace. But now DK pretty happy with their positioning. Raptor gets into the pit. Shiu still looking for that flank angle as he sweeps out onto Clear. Kellen just searching for a little bit of an angle. There's the culling to soften them up from aiming. Nicely done. Seismic Shove is good onto Lucid, but he goes on target for Pop Blossom's fantastic. The Drake gets taken down, but Kellen's also dead. Aiming is going nuts as he flashes on top of Vikla, and that is the Rumble going down, and now the kills are starting to fly in. The resets are working out as Diablo standing his ground. His health bar is so high. Shiu is going to try and punish him, but he gets the triple. Is it Penta time as the charm is going to connect? Orb of Deception comes down, but Showmaker though, can he actually win out as Diablo? He's just waiting for an E. The jump comes through and he misses the Q. Doesn't push further forward.
From Vikla getting great value, and then Diablo landing the Mystic Shot, so the red buff here burns even with the wall blocking. Managing to connect here on a Shiu where the flash comes through. This charm does catch him.
Yeah.
But just like, yeah, I'm going over the wall.
Really good
to
pings
kill
as well.
Shiwu, and then so close here to getting the Penta.
Looks like DK, the majority of them are just going to be able to get out. Flash is going to be employed there by Beryl, but I think you'll take that in trade as now Clear could be in trouble. Charm going to connect, and the culling will cut down the Rumble. Now Warrior Trickster has to be used by Raptor to get himself out of there as they're taking Hex Gates. They're looking to close in as now Diablo's in trouble. Pop Blossom to try and peel, but this time Aiming is actually playing with his brain attached, so he's able to take down the Ezreal. And DK looking for even more. The ulti's going to clip him, and Raptor walks back towards DK because Showmaker persuaded him to. And this is the DK that we've been waiting to see. They're going to look for a Baron as well, and they get to work on that while the last kill is going down. And a whole lot of power here, but they don't necessarily need to fight for this right now.
Yeah, it's gone.
As Shiu is looking for the flank angle. Beryl now wanting to find a way in as well, as Shiu staying in the fog of war where he can. Shape Splitter now on cooldown. Shiu still just corralling them and gets into the backline there as Pop Blossom lands onto the rest. They're going to try and turn onto Shiu as everyone dives towards Aiming, but he's able to dash his way out. Vikla's in trouble. Showmaker looking to put him down, and there are the kills streaming through. It was that quadra kill for Diablo, and then everything fell off a cliff. DK will be able to push further forward, and we'll see what more they can get. And one of the great things here, if you're looking over the other side of the rift, is this gentleman right here. He's going to get shoved. It's the caster curse that was preemptive, unfortunately for me. But maybe it was a bait all along as the flash out. No equalizer going to get any joy onto Showmaker. As now the public execution into the backline. The seismic shot going to miss because he's got so many dashes. And Aiming with the culling is doing exactly that. Clear trying to do what he can, but it is not going to work as Lucid looks for the quadra. Is it going to be his turn for a pentakill? I guess it is as he dashes on top. We were denied one penta, but at least we got another as the doggo is looking real happy as he wags his tail all the way to the Nexus.
Lucid nearly leaping out of his chair on that one with how excited he was to get the Penta. BFX trying to make a pick on a Showmaker, ends up backfiring. And D+ slam that game to an end.
Lucid was certainly one of those dogs that I was very envious of. Let's just say that in this particular game, where he plays extraordinarily well. I want to say Showmaker undying performance here at the same time. That's what I was trying to say before we were interrupted by the end of the game.
Aiming considering the Zeri angle?
Could go with a whole bunch of different stuff. You're not really putting on a whole lot of pressure with the Xayah.
Yeah, I think
is it just Kai'Sa in the end? Is that what we're going to do? Flip to it? No, never mind. Zeri.
I think Kai'Sa would have probably been better in this situation. The reason I'm a bit concerned about the Zeri is you're playing into Nautilus Rise, who are very good at point-and-click CCing the Zeri.
So let's see whether it is going to work out here. So far, Skarner and Gwen have not seen as much success as they had prior, and this is a lot of power on the side of D+ Kia. Can they make it the first 2-0 of the week, or will B&K Furex find a way? Not quite anymore, as she gets bonked with the lamppost a few times.
Yeah, good amount of nerfs this week in the early game, a decent amount.
In both games, in fact. First round of bans this time around. DK getting rid of it, as Lucid is going to find Kellen, who doesn't have his anchor available. Does have Aftershock, though.
Whoa!
Does get the anchor back. I'm not sure about that one. Beryl says, that's your sin. Not going to be too much of a worry as now Diablo gets in there as Vikla turns up. First blood is going to be collected. Maybe that 100% win rate is going to work out as he's starting this game with a double kill.
Very caught off guard, and I think D+ was too.
Absolutely.
In that situation, she would get some good damage on a clear.
Yeah, the Empower coming on through there as the Grandmaster's Might comes down. Leap Strike coming through, so the flash does get the flash out from Clear as well. So some top lane dominance. Kellen finding yet another one as Showmaker with the Emperor's Divide lands only onto Vikla as they will be able to put him down. Lucid getting a bunch of his health back as finally Diablo's going to turn up, but Aiming is looking for a certification, and Raptor is the one that has the documents. There it is, the double immediately in response for Aiming.
And then it started to spiral out of control in the mid game. They don't have that same level of control in this one. You know, the objective control is going in their favor, sure, but course, Vikla has Realm Warp here, by the way.
Yeah, Hook going to come on through as Beryl finding a Pulverize, but maybe a little bit too early as he does send Raptor back. Does get stunned up, but aiming underneath his turret, he will survive, and Beryl not quite as lucky. He's got a BF sword as well. That is a lot better than the long one. As, okay, Vikla is just going to Realm Warp his way out. He knows there is not a lot of CC left, but still the flash forward from Lucid. And yeah, you can Realm Warp out, but you're going to have to go further than that if you want to escape this duo. It could be. We'll see whether Beryl pulls the trigger. We'll see when Beryl pulls the trigger is, I guess, what we were talking about. As the Impale brings Lucid in, but he doesn't seem too worried about it. He just smites away the dragon. Double Pulverize there from Beryl as they're getting thrown around like ragdolls, but aiming is untouched. Emperor's Divide finds two, and then pushed into the blender that looks like Zeri. Kellen will be able to find himself a dredge line, but aiming finds a whole bunch of kills. 4, 1, and 2 now. Pulverize comes through. Emperor's Divide comes through. Everyone just activates. And Showmaker finding a brilliant angle here. As we can see, picks up both. And this is a much better Azir performance from Showmaker here today in this game number 2 than what we've seen in prior matches this season.
Between different regions. And you know, Korea?
Oh, well, we're just going to have to hold that thought momentarily as there's a Realm Warp coming in as well. Lucid is very, very dead.
Yeah,
that's okay.
My bad.
At least we get double tech souls in this series as Beryl is going to get hooked. And then then it's a bit of an and what situation here as maybe he's going to have to get out of the way. He does not. As, in fact, aiming, getting engaged on. He skates over the wall. Beryl with the unbreakable will. Maybe it should be a bit breakable. Never mind. Nope, he's just now fighting Raptor as this cow is unkillable. It's a double kill in for Lucid. Vikla is now fighting against the Pantheon. Maybe he likes those odds. Never mind. He's going to be shown the big old shield. It's a triple that comes on through, and that is going to be the Rift Herald and possibly more here as aiming.
The heal comes through. Oh no.
Oh, Xiu. Wait. Will he find it here as aiming? Dashes over the wall. Clear knows that he has to try and take Xiu with him, and he's not going to be able to do so. Turret going to get tanked, and that denies the assist or kill from aiming. Maybe we could go for another 6-gamer. It was 2 in a row, and we haven't had an entire week of 6-game series before. Could have created some history. And BNK going to have to go for a crazy comeback if they're going to make it work. And oh god, it's not looking like it's starting here. As Lucid will dive on top of Diablo. Nowhere for him to go. Didn't have the Feather Storm. Didn't have a hope. And now aiming, looking to try and get on in here as Raptor able to flash himself out. But if you're just getting away from the corpse of your AD carry, you know things are not looking good.
Guys, Lucid is 7-1.
Huh.
My favorite player, Lucid, is 7-1.
He's going so well. It's like it must be your birthday or something. As in they go, Pulverize going to connect. It's a double knock-up as aiming is going ballistic. Clear going to have to try and dash away. Does have some needleworks. You couldn't fool them. As Hook going to connect here as Emperor's Divide is going to get Showmaker to safety. And this is what we were talking about earlier on, but it's looking like it doesn't actually even matter. The fact that Showmaker can just keep them at arm's length with the Emperor's Divide. Kellen goes in to die, and he is going to get his wish. As he will be able to get a Feather Storm here, and Kellen not going to quite find the Pantheon with the anchor. Still, Diablo's able to kite him out, gets the pullback, and now Clear is fighting against aiming and Beryl. I don't know whether Clear likes those odds, but he gets the flash. And BNK, honestly, this is the best fight they could have hoped for. It's even, at least for now, as Xiu says, no, it's not. Showmaker's going to be able to pick up that kill. Xiu just going to bonk them with his lamppost as Raptor not able to get over the wall. And he's just going to get flung back. He knew that that was going to happen as he realized also that he had no hope other than to give it a good old crack. As Extended Beam, not quite enough, but Showmaker gets over there.
They're unprecedented levels of power.
Yep, maybe it's time for another hair bet as Pulverize does come on through. Beryl just going to be corralling them, and Lucid dives into that backline. He knows his target, but Diablo's going to survive for quite some time. Raptor not so lucky as she win that front line. Oh my goodness, that Q almost able to cut down Diablo, but he does stay standing. Over the wall goes Xiu now, and Vikla is not going to be able to offer enough damage back as the Seraphs comes on through. He does go golden to keep himself alive, but he will be going down in the end. And Diablo on the fountain getting his health back, but he turns back up to everything being on fire as the first inhibitor of the game will go down. 24 minutes. Yep.
I really think they all are. Chronicler's probably going to go for Lucid because, you know, he wants to try and...
Yeah, he's got some ground to cover, I think.
Yeah.
As Raptor is going to pick up Beryl, and Beryl says that he does not care about it. Yeah, not going to be able to impale all of them. They're thinking about a Baron. They're on it already. Showmaker and Lucid getting to work there. Look at Beryl starting this fight. There's no one even to follow up, but he's still there. He's so dedicated to starting the fight. As Kellen's going to go down, and now Beryl's actually just going to murder Diablo. He does Featherstorm, but he comes down into a furnace, and he will be taken out. That is going to be a triple here for Aiming, who wants to get his own pentakill. Let's see whether he can get it as Showmaker serves Raptor up on a silver platter. There's the quadra kill, and Vikla is like, my 100% win rate, you are not getting a penta.
He bought his onions when he bought his onions.
Oh no, is he going to go golden? The answer is no, and it's a pentakill once again. First it's Lucid, then it's Aiming, and they'll win the series. Absolutely incredible stuff. Showmaker did a lot of damage, and Vikla, unfortunately, suffered his first loss on the rise. Hard to stay undefeated for that long in the LCK. Not many players with undefeated champions, only a short list of those. And when you get to larger sample sizes, it does become so much different, so difficult to do that. As Showmaker picks up the POM, Undying today.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the POM interview translation, joined by Showmaker on the side of D plus Kia. Last match, you broke your loss streak, and today, with your victory, you're back on track with that winning streak. How do you feel? You know, we were able to end our losing streak last match, and just being able to keep our winning streak going makes me so happy. And in game 1, the enemy took Nico and Talia, giving D plus Kia some trouble. So, what was the plan to deal with them in game? I think you just had to pinpoint that Ari was the only one that can make some plays. So I think I really tried focusing on hitting my charms the entire game. And in game 2, you made an amazing highlight play with Azir, so let's take a look at the replay. The super toss in front of the Infernal Drake. You look so composed. So how did you find this angle? You know, the enemy had a lot of wombo combo CCs. And because my teammates were able to exhaust them of those kind of CC skills, it was just really easy for me to just go in and engage. I honestly went in pretty late, but because the enemy didn't really have a lot of skills to use on me, it was pretty comfortable. And with Azir becoming a high prio pick, you know, you must have had to consider playing Azir a lot, so what was the practice process like? I feel like during my professional career, Azir has always been meta, and it's never really not been in meta, so I had to always practice and be ready to pull him out, so I was pretty confident in playing him. And in today's game 1, Lucid got a pentakill and Aiming got a pentakill again in game 2, so 2 pentakills in a series. How do you think this is possible? No, in your professional career, getting a pentakill even once is such a hard task, but we got 2 in a series, which is quite amazing, and it just felt like I got the pentakill, and that's how happy I was for my teammates today. So how is your teamwork just so good? Is there any secret? You know, during the long series and chain of losing streak, I think we just had a lot of feedback and review within our team, and we just tried to maintain our mental fortitude. And your next opponent is OK Savings Bank Brion, and you have to watch out for their Kingslayer instinct. So what is your mindset? Now we're on a winning streak, so we will make sure that we are well prepared to keep our win streak going. And you know, despite the rain today in Seoul, there are a lot of fans visiting and cheering for you on site. So would you like to say anything to the fans? You know, when I woke up today, it felt just so sticky and suffocating. It was so humid, and it's just, you know, I think the weather is just so easy to make you feel bad, but I'm so glad and so happy and so grateful that our fans are always down to support us. And that's the end of the interview with Showmaker, and back to the space. Thank you.